Today I'm going to teach you about list comprehension in Python in a few minutes. So it's a concise way of creating a list from an existing list. List comprehension is very important if you are trying to get from Python to data analysis or data science or machine learning. So list comprehension is like a small kind of data analysis. You analyze a list to get results immediately from an existing list. So instead of talking so much, let's just do it and see how it works. Please subscribe to my channel if this makes some sense to you. If this is informative, hit the subscribe button below. So let's use NumPy to create a list of items. So I'm going to say import NumPy as NP. So to create a list from NumPy, you are going to use, let's call that list X is equal to np.leanout, so linspace. So linspace creates a range of items from the first item to the last item and specify the number of items you want. So we want 10 items at this point. So normally to print it, I can say for I in X, and I can say print I. So if I do this, I can print this list I created. As you can see, we have items, 10 items here. All right. So let's assume we want to take square of all these items. Normally, I'm going to show you how to do it without list comprehension, and then I'm going to show you how to do it with list comprehension. So normally, if you want to print take the square of these items, so what you are going to do normally is going to first you create a new list, an empty list as it is. Then you now look through the list and be appending the squares. So what here, the next line is going to say for I in X. Okay, you are going to now take the square of I. Okay, so you're going to say I2, let's call it I2 is equal to is equal to I times I. So we've taken the square, and then we are going to say sqrx dot append, and we append I1, the square we calculated. So basically, this is how we take the square root, the square of series of items to get the square of all these items. So at this point, if I run it at this point, for instance, if I print sqrx, we'll see that it gives us the squares at this point. So it gives us the squares at this point. All right, so these 4 lines of code that we see here, I'm going to now do it with a single line. This time I'm going to use list comprehension. So to do that, you simply say sqrx, let's call it sqrx2 at this point, is equal to, now the first thing you want to do is to open square brackets and then perform the operation you want to perform in X. So what we want to perform is xi times I, okay, for I in X. So you see what one single very, very short line we've used to do the same thing. So if I take out this, at this point, and I try to print sqrx2, we are going to also have the same results. But now we did it in one single line. So this is how list comprehension works. It's similar to map, filter, and reduce, which is what I'm going to be talking of after now. But I want you to try to understand list comprehension. Let's now perform something called filtering, right? So let's say we want to take items from 1 to 10, but we want to filter out items that are less than 5. So simply say, let's call this list Y is equal to, we want to get a list of items from 1 to 10, but we want to filter out items from 1 to 5. So we can say Y is equal to, normally you open square brackets, and you can say for I in, let's say for I So we are going to take I first, one I for I in range 10. Okay, so actually this is a list of items we've created. Okay, and I'm going to say if you are going to write an if statement to now specify what items to drop. So you are going to say if I is greater than 5. So in this case, we have filtered out items less than 5. So we are putting a filter here. So this is similar to filter in map, filter, and reduce, what I'm going to be talking about after now. So if I print Y at this point, it's going to give us only items from 6 to 10. So I'm going to run it so that you can see as well. So you can see 6, 7, 8, 9. We can also perform filtering in this very one. So in this case, if we want to take the square root and we want to get only items, let's say less than 50, you can also add the conditional statement here and say if, and then put a conditional statement I is less than 50. It will also filter out what you want to filter out. So the same thing, you can also put, let's say you want to get even numbers or we want to get only odd numbers. Let's say we want to take items from 1 to 10. We want to get all the odd numbers. So odd numbers will be I mod 2, where I mod 2 for odd number should not be equal to 0. So I mod 2 is equal to 1. So in that way, we will have only odd numbers. I mod 2 is equal to, this is conditional. So if I run this at this point, we are going to have only odd numbers. You can see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Alright, so what have we learned? We've learned about list comprehension and we've learned about how to apply filtering in list comprehension. The next class, I'm going to now be talking about map, filter, and reduce. Feel free to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss this, because these are things that get you ready for data science. So map, filter, and reduce. So this is what we are going to be talking about next. Leave me a comment if this has been informative for you. Feel free to also like my video, and we'll see you in the next class.